Hallo und willkommen zurück zum nächsten Part in Head as Code. Wir kommen langsam dem Ende zu. Im letzten Part haben wir das E-Ending erreicht. Und zwar das E. Wir haben herausgefunden, dass Jasmine eigentlich nicht Jasmine ist, sondern ein Jasmine Lookalike, die eigentlich Hannah ist, also Gretas Schwester, die dann umgeformt wurde und umoperiert wurde, dass sie so aussieht wie Jasmine. Und die wahre Jasmine ist irgendwo. Keiner weiß wo, denn sie ist verschwunden. Und der Ausweg ist ebenfalls nicht so, wie wir denken, denn die ganze U-Bahn, die wir haben, ist eigentlich ein Turm, der mit Aufzügen und Stationen funktioniert. Und das ist alles komisch. Alles komisch. Danach sind wir gestorben. Danach wurden wir erstochen von jemandem, der das Messer von Hannah geklaut hat. Und jetzt machen wir mit Grün weiter. Wir müssen nicht viel machen, denn wir fangen direkt hier an. So. Genau, das ist direkt nachdem, so gesehen, nachdem wir das Security Office gelöst haben. Und jetzt gucken wir das Video an, wo man sehen kann, dass eins der Zwillinge ankommt, stirbt, später zurückkommt ohne Halsband, so gesehen. Und die beiden sind trotzdem komplett fein, wenn sie in die Lounge kommen. Und jetzt denkt nicht mal nach. Mal gucken, was passiert. Ein neuer Weg öffnet sich uns. The screen that had been smashed was lit up, and I could see a live feed of one of the rooms. It looked like a church or something like that. Let's see what we have here. Now that everything was open, it was easier for me to sit down and use the console. It looked a little like a computer interface, so it didn't take very long for me to get used to it. I want a system where a lot of files, folders upon folders, numbered in strange sequences, were lining up on the database. If someone would have asked me how many files there were, I would have answered, a lot. The only way to refer to this many files.
Try a random one. It's not like we can tell what they all are with those numbers. Normally, they're formatted based on dates, but in there they named strange things.
I tried a random file, as suggested, but it didn't amount to anything. The file was corrupted. Another gave me the same results, and upon the third one, I gave up trying them without aim. This piece of shit probably has a check for corrupted files. Let's try to run a repair tool.
Assuming it's not, as you say, a piece of shit.
Well, it's running. Well, it's going. Mind answering a few for me? Jasmine inquisitively arched her brow. What did you find in the drawers you unscrewed?
Oh, right. There was a piece of paper with a code. That's what I used to unlock the doors.
Really now?
I swear. It was as easy as that. And nothing else was required.
So all this with the screens...
that was part of the puzzle too. I swear.
She was lying. Jasmine was hiding something from me. I didn't care if Smiley needed to replace the screens. For whatever reasons, he might need to do so.
But what I cared for is that Jasmine wasn't giving me the entire truth. There had been something on the screens that she didn't want me to see.
Was it personal? Was it worse? Was it incriminating? Before I could truly dwell on it, the check finished. There was only a single uncorrupted file remaining. I pulled it up and booted it, expecting a text file or something, but it was a video. Aha! Jackpot! We got some footage, boys! Jasmine cleared her throat, but I was focused on the screen. On it was one of the twins in Ray. Narrowing my eyes, I leaned forward. What is this? They've never gone together, I don't think. On the screen, they were arguing. It had no sound, only picture. They were in a scanner room of some sort. After a while, the twin ran through the scanners. Huh? Is it live? No, it's a file. I looked over at Jasmine, who pointed at the screen as if to tell me to keep looking. The feed wasn't done giving us information. We was panicking. He had his back to the wall, both of his hands grabbing onto the surface, as if he was trying to rip his nails off. Slowly, something was rolling back into the focus. It was the twin's head. Oh my god. Huh? Finally, Ray looked around the room, seemingly scared from the occurrence. After a minute, he tentatively reached for the head. He grabbed it and ran out. Nothing happened afterward. When did it happen?
I don't know. One of the twins is dead?
I hit the fast forward button. Nothing happened until the twin came back and squealed. The other twin, the one still alive. After waiting for a moment, she stepped to the scanner. However, there was no head rolling back this time. Nothing happened to her.
That's weird. Rewind that.
I looked closer at the screen while doing so. The scene played again.
Pause it.
I hit the button while Jasmine excitedly pointed at the image.
Look, she got rid of it. The color's fucking gone. How can she do that?
Something doesn't add up. Other than the fact that Jasmine was swearing, which she only very rarely did, something was definitely not right. I rewound the fate to the very beginning and let it play again. We have to tell someone about this. If she could remove her collar.
No, I think it's best if we don't talk about it with the others for now. If one of them really died, then that means Ray gonna do whatever it takes to hide it. In his urgency, he might decide to silence those who know. It's clearly not his fault. The twin wants out on her own, but who's gonna believe him?
Especially if one of the twins is gone too. Wait, does it mean they had the 9th person in their room? Jasmine remained silent, uncertain. I decided to do a final cursory check. First I looked at the file's name, trying to see if it would help me figure out when it was recorded. But no dice. Once again, just like the rest, it was named by number, but it was far too high to be considered a date. I briefly considered maybe a second, like it was X seconds after the dating game started, but I figured it wasn't. Okay, let's go then. This could cause unnecessary strife if people find out about this. First we have to see what happened to the twins and what Ray's state is.
Yeah, let's go, on the double.
The two of us ran away from the room, then quickly down the stairs. At the lobby, I almost tripped and mashed my shoulder against the wall. Ugh! I should have been such a daredevil.
Are you okay?
Jasmine called from the station. I joined her right afterwards, where we waited for the train. Yeah, I'm fine.
I knew we should have waited for the twins.
Didn't you want to head out?
Yeah, but I always felt like that might have been a bad outcome. I was just too curious, I guess.
She sighed, clearly worried over the choice she made earlier. And after winning the battle between the dragon and the griffin too, I understood her worry anyway. It was the same for me. I should have remained behind to check on the twins. I just wanted to see if they were fine. There was no time to waste, even if we would be too late to already. The train arrived. We boarded it. Oh, warum mach ich so weiter? Wir haben schon groß passiert. After the little chime, it set off, and the only thing eradicating the silence was the announcer's voice from the speakers.
Breaking station, Le Joie.
Oder, ich weiß nicht, wie man es ausspricht. Es ist Französisch. While the train was moving, I thought about the situation again. First of all, I found a note that spoke of a person that didn't belong. Was it E? Was it A? All of us had no link. Was it twins? If a twin could take off a collar, was it her? Or was Ray the person that didn't belong? His reactions seemed genuine. There was legitimate fear in his eyes when he was scared shitless earlier. No, it had to be a twin then, maybe? I kept those thoughts to myself. It was difficult to think about because twins were young. They didn't have the life experience to set up this entire place or anything. The twins couldn't do it. One of them died too. Then why did I have this uneasy feeling that told me I needed to watch my back? So many facts didn't add up. The fact one of the twins didn't have a collar during the video didn't add up. The fact Ray took the head was weird. The fact the twin just ran out and died. She knew the rest, so why? The simplest idea would be that the twin who removed her collar found a way to do so without dying. If that was the case, then she was gone and wouldn't be of any help. I had to stay calm.
Station's coming. Come on, faster.
Jasmine was muttering encouraging words to the train to go faster to the station. I couldn't help but smirk at that futile endeavor. I regained my seriousness when we arrived at the station. I was now in emergency mode. The both of us left the train in a hurry. Quickly, we had to get some info from what the situation was on the platform. The door was open. The twins had come back then.
Quick, into the lobby. No time to examine this place. We need to find someone and quickly.
I wordlessly agreed while engulfing myself into the lobby. After a short travel up the stairs and through a hallway, I emerged into a lounge. On the other side of the room was a bar. I didn't have the time to think about what this place was before he spoke up to me. Is everything alright? I saw him behind the bar, apparently preparing some drinks for the others. Eve was seated on her stool waiting for hers, and next to her were the twins. Time seemed to stand still while I opened my eyes wider. I could see them clear as day. The twins were alive. Both of the twins were alive. My eyes darted to their necks. Were the collars there? I need to check for the collars. Both of them had their collars on. What? Jasmine joined me momentarily. When she noticed my state, she elbowed me in the side. Contrary to me, she wasn't nearly as horrified by the discovery that two people who were still alive and trapped here.
Please excuse him. He's never seen a bar in his life, so this is really surprising to him.
Oh. I cleared my throat and finally came back to reality. Twins turned around by that point, so I had to put on my normal face, even if I thought I wasn't too convincing. Yeah, that's correct. Bars of things I've never seen before, so I was really surprised at how shiny the content was. I see! I didn't relate to that. Where's Ray? The big man wasn't there yet. We don't know! In fact, the twins came back just a few moments ago. Did something happen? Have you reason to search for him?
The less we see of him, the better, I think.
I wouldn't go that far. The two of them could speak. As I did, I realized I felt sick. Just a little. I couldn't believe my eyes. Either what I saw earlier was false, or this was false. I couldn't trust my eyes. I need to calm down. No, nothing happened. Everything is all fine. I decided to finally play it cool. Do you desire a drink? Take a seat and make some refreshments for what we've now got here. Thanks for the offer, but I'm not really thirsty. That was a lie. I did feel awfully thirsty. However, I lied through my teeth to get some time alone. Even if he was genuine in his offer, I had no time for this. I just need a bit of a walk, I think. So soon after coming back? What can I say? My body's starting to get old.
Doesn't it mean you want to sit down instead?
No, I have to keep it shape. I laughed extremely unnaturally. The twins stopped carrying and went back to their drinks. I hope they weren't alcoholic or anything. What was that old man thinking? With a wave towards the others, I left them alone. I walked back down the stairs. What was I going to do now? I debated on the proper course of action. The choice came down to sharing information or not, because I couldn't make sense of it. I could kind of trust Jasmine, even if she pulled off that weird thing with the screens. That event still lingered in my mind. I could also collect more evidence. Currently, I thought the twins and Ray were all extremely suspicious. What about the others, though? Could I really share info like that without any lead? With this walk, I could also explore a station and gather more info. This was a difficult choice. Frage ist jetzt, was muss ich machen? Oh, ich glaube, muss ich die Info jetzt sharen oder nicht? I couldn't resist the pull of fate. Sharing the video was in my best interest somehow. I didn't know why, but I wanted to do it before doing anything else. Ist das die richtige Sache, die ich gerade mache? Das ist die Frage. Ich bin gerade verwirrt, wo ich lang muss. Okay, ich war richtig. Alles klar. Ah, okay. Okay, verstehe. Alles klar, alles klar. Ich habe richtig entschieden. Gut. The part of me that didn't like that idea remembered how it showed Ray and the twins. It would cause some strife, especially if I'd shared with them, so I opted not to. However, someone who wouldn't do something stupid until we had proof would be a better companion. Before I shared it, I wanted to clear up something that had been nagging me about the video. First of all, the twins should have never met with Ray. The only instance of this being possible was after we left. If Ray and Marco split up, then Ray came back alone, met with the twins on their way, and one of them regrouped with him. Then it would be fine. But I thought the twins didn't really like him. I didn't think they would ever team up with him unwillingly. There was also another thing. The fast forward had taken quite a while to even get to the point where I saw the colorless twin. Possibly hours had passed. We hadn't been here long enough for this. There was yet a third thing that didn't work. But I had to check the video again to be sure. I probably have enough time. Fortunately, I'm on the wrong side of the station to go there. I clenched my teeth. Maybe I could sneak through the hallway around the lounge, if I was careful enough that no one would see me through the 2 doorways. I could also take the train to another station, go up, cross to the other side, come down, and take the train back to make it look to the security room. The latter was a bigger waste of time, and judging by my current situation, I didn't want to waste too much of it. I really want to see what the twins had found in the station, but I have to leave that for later. Making my mind, I decided to crawl back up the stairs. Very carefully, I walked around the corner, and then I waited until I no longer heard any noise from within the lounge before I ventured further. I passed the first doorway, successfully when sneaking by. The second doorway went much of the same, but as I went through and came down the staircase... Ein Twin, nicht wahr? Ja. There was one of the twins in the lobby. Beyond her was the station, and I could see a train there. She watched me, surprised to see me. I could either stop her to talk to her directly, and inquire what was in the station, or I could catch the train. If I did the latter, I would save on time, but the former would let me know. Decisions. Catch the train. I gave the twin a quick wave before moving on just as quickly. I had to be fast to catch the train before it left. I managed to do it in extremis, and as soon as I stepped in, the chime rang and the doors closed behind me. I panicked and dropped into a seat, closing my eyes and waiting. Back in the security room, I took the spot in the chair, apprehensively looking at the console. Nothing had been tampered with. The video file was still open, and paused to where we put it before. If anyone else had come here, they covered their tracks very well. I doubted any of them could handle that, so most likely nobody came by. The secret was still safe. I played the video again from the start. What I wanted to check wasn't really at any point in particular, so I paused the feed to avoid having any movement distract me as I observed it. I looked specifically at the corner of the video. The feed was in the scanner room, but I could see a bit of the room it was attached to. I nerved my eyes a little. Then I realized what I first thought. I scrambled out of the seat, left the room and looked around the hallway. I kept my eyes low and almost bumped into the corner of the ray in it. Soon, I was in the scanner room for the station. There was no mistaking it. The floor outside of this room was exactly like the floor on the feed. All the hallways had different kind of flooring, so this was definitely here. I could tell because the floors in the leisure and bedroom station were different. How did they come here? No one but Jasmine and I ever came to this room. Not only did the time not match up, but now it's physically impossible that it did. G.H. and Ray, what is your involvement in all of this? My eyes opened wide in shock at the realization. Were they behind this? Not one but 3 people? Ich will es gucken, ob das jetzt immer noch richtig ist. Ich will nicht wissen, ob ich falsch gelaufen bin, deswegen. Ich bin noch da. Okay, ich muss auch warten, ich muss auch weiter warten, okay. Die Entscheidung ändert an sich nichts. Ich bin also trotzdem da richtig, okay. Ich wollte sicher gehen. Das heißt, selbst wenn ich jetzt A sage, komme ich trotzdem in den Zug rein, nicht wahr? Ja, okay. My eyes opened wide in shock at the realization. Were they behind this? Not one but 3 people? I need to tell someone. First, I need to tell Jasmine, and then maybe someone else too. But who? I went back to the main room and closed the file entirely this time. There was no risking someone else finding this. After that, I left the room. I took the train back to the lounge, which was a very uneventful ride. On the way, I decided the only person I could share it with was A. Marco wasn't there, and he might stick by Ray. The twins were already suspicious enough, and E wouldn't be much help. I entered the lounge again. Looking around, I noticed something was a little different. The twins had gone to another station. This made it easy for me. I wouldn't have to worry about leaking the secret anymore.
The twins moved out. They found some maps in their room, so according to them, they are going to,
She flicked through the papers while A observed us in silence. He was there too, but she was silent and tranquil, drinking some juice on one of the couches.
Ah, the pool. The room we explored together was marked as security. Remember that live feed of the church? That's a few stations further down the line. According to the maps, we've got around 14 stations total. There's a lounge, and on that side, and the one we explored was the security room, there are 6 stations. Security, science laboratory, infirmary, fitness center, church, and theater. We could even go watch movies if we wanted to here.
She cracked a joke, but I didn't laugh. In retrospect, perhaps that was a little mean of me. The poor girl was almost visibly crushed by suspicion she had to hold. After all, out of every girl here, she may as well have been alone then. The twins were suspicious and E's presence was minimal at best.
On the other side, we have the pantry, the library, the bedroom, the stars, whatever that is, the pool, the recreation room, and the reactor, which sounds really dangerous.
I also have things to show. It's good and all to know what is everywhere, but I need to share some info with the both of you. I called the old man over by the same occasion.
Has your walk been fruitful then? You've been investigating something, haven't you?
Very perceptive. It seemed like this old man knew just from looking at me. Was I this transparent? If Marco was here, he'd say something along the lines of,
"You're not a ghost yet, dude."
perhaps I had been pale as one ever since I made my discovery. Unfortunately, we have to go to the security room. I don't think I can explain very well. That means we need to split up even when we get there.
It's that video, isn't it? We found a weird video. I'll explain first and then we can go see it to check directly.
Oh, if you swear it's the truth and can act as witness for it, what each other is saying, I doubt we need to go there and all that.
No, there's something additional to what Jasmine saw. But sure, go and explain. My friend spoke to A about it, while the old man stroked his chin in thought. My details will have to wait, since I believed I need to show the floor too.
And that's what we found. Since the twins were both here earlier, both with their collars. That's strange, isn't it?
Yes, I agree. I would like to see the additional information for myself too. Let us leave E here. She is safe and she will be waiting for us.
I hadn't thought about E's situation.
But she can't stay here alone, right?
Correct. Alas, all three of us should go to see the additional information, yet only two may.
Are they going to have another rock, paper, scissors battle? As important as it was, I need to circumvent it in some way. We couldn't afford to waste time for another 100 years fight. I'll go with A first. Jasmine, you can talk with E, correct? Stay here and tell her about it too. I doubt she'll talk readily. She looks like she can handle a secret.
Gotcha, okay. Be sure to share the info with me too, though.
Let us make haste.
I didn't need to be told twice. We both left the area and made our way back to the security room. We watched the feed and explained everything to the old man.
Yes, that's quite odd. I can't help but wonder exactly if this video is real.
I narrowed my eyes a little. What did he mean by not real? You think the video itself is a fabrication? But the people in it are those who are with us.
Do you think they died for real then? We can't exactly see very well. This angle isn't good. The head could easily be a mannequin, for instance.
His expressions darkened a little.
However, this also means that Ray and one of the twins are in cahoots with some reasons for another. To what ends, I honestly cannot tell. This is all too suspicious, no matter how you look at it. Perhaps they have secrets to hide, but then the questions are, which twin is it? Does it matter? And most importantly, is Smiley two of us?
Ah, I see. Suggesting that if a mannequin was used, then a twin without a collar isn't a different twin, but the same one.
Precisely! It would be difficult to tell which twin is involved in this mastermind business at all. Is it H? She seemed hot at it. Is it G? She's a little shy. Contradictory.
I agree with that. I couldn't differentiate them well either until they spoke. They had different personalities, but that was pretty much it, I thought. Alright, for the additional information, take a look at the corner of this video. I want it back to when there wouldn't be anything in the way. If you noticed on the way in, the flooring in the hallway here matches this one perfectly, and other stations all have different look. Unless you tell me this floor is also in the pantry, I'm going to assume that.
No, you might be right. I didn't notice that. How could I not notice? That's very peculiar. However, I'd say it only confirms our suspicions. My theory is that the suspicious duo has been here before already. Before the game started, they filmed themselves acting out this outcome. Then they waited a while and set up the tape, checked it, and then left without turning off the camera. Then that's why I caught one of the twins without a collar.
Which means Smiley is two people. Alas,
We can't make a move.
I was bummed about the discovery, but when you finished talking, I deflated. Why not? We finally figured out who it was. He sighed, apparently having realized something I hadn't yet.
We don't have enough evidence. If we confronted them in the open, we would be failing right into the trap too. The best we can do is keep exploring for now and corner them later.
Okay, fine. But we should keep an eye out on them, no?
Unfortunately, the twins have left for the pool. At the moment, I know that Ray and M have gone for the science lab, which is one station further up from here. The one after them is the infirmary. I would like to explore it, so it would open just in case something bad happened in our confrontation.
I'll stay with Jasmine at that launch then. So if the twins come back, we can split them up and keep an eye on them.
Not a bad idea. Let us away!
Both of us left. Now that our plan of action was decided. Before leaving, I remember to close the video. Once again, we brought the train to silence. Ah! So that's what we figured out. We met with Jasmine again and explained everything to her. Theories, but nothing entirely concrete yet. That's why we'll stay here. If the twins come back, it's paramount we grab them and question them.
Yeah, but we have to be careful. Is that a good idea? I don't know. What if they figure out we're getting too close to the truth?
I trust in the fact the twins care for each other. If it comes to it, we can try to leverage that. I don't know why the culprit would put their sister into this horrible game, but...
That's so mean, though.
Do we have a choice? We're stuck here, aren't we? Isn't that mean too? Jasmine became silent as she contemplated my words. In the meantime, A finished communicating with E and joined us both again.
Is it time for us to leave for the infirmary? Should Ray come back here before the twins do, please be ready to conceal what you truly know about this sordid affair.
Sure. A and E vanished off from the room. I was left alone with Jasmine, which wasn't a bad spot to be in.
I hope they don't take too long. I'm not completely patient right now.
Me neither. To pass the time, I decided that perhaps I could have shared the paper with Jasmine. I still didn't know if I could have trusted her. Something was making me increasingly paranoid. We had a clear goal this time. Yes, that was true. However, Jasmine's behavior still weighed on my mind. I had chosen not to tell A, as that might have been the trigger to send him on the wild path. The paper spoke of a person who didn't belong. Was it Jasmine? Was it one of the twins? Was it Ray? I had to make this choice. Did I share the information with my shadow friend or not? Would it be helpful, or would it create even further unnecessary suspicion? Ja, doch. Listen, I almost forgot. I found a piece of paper earlier. I can show you, but you have to promise not to panic when you read what's on it, okay? I decided to the fact I actually chose not to share with anyone, including her, because I hadn't known who to trust. It would have only fanned the flames of doubt in her head.
Okay, I promise.
I sincerely doubted she would panic, but I had wanted to guarantee it anyway. Now that I had it, I reached in my pocket and took out a piece of paper. I also pulled out the big coin from the bedroom we explored. That's right, I still had that. Realizing that fact made me wonder if it would have an additional purpose, since I could take it out of the room. I stuffed it back in, since that piece was useless for now. It's just a big coin from the bedroom, nothing to worry about. Anyway, here's a piece of paper. I unfolded it and showed it to her. After she read it, her expression hardened a little. I could tell she wasn't sure what it meant, just like me.
I wonder if all these things weren't just planted here to make us doubt each other. Can you actually say there's someone who doesn't belong? For instance, what would be the criteria to...
I stumbled forward out of my seat, clutching my head and interrupting Jasmine in the sentence. It took her a bit to realize something was happening to me, but by that point, I wasn't even there anymore.
Are you okay?
Her voice faded and I was elsewhere. Darkness. No, a room. It was a reactor. I was in a reactor room. The door of the reactor opened, and behind it was a pile of molten something. A wall was rising into the ceiling, in the back too. Even though I was looking at the reactor, what the wall had been hiding slowly came into my view too. Behind the wall was 8 vats. 8 of them were lined up, containing all of us. Jasmine, the twins, Ray, A, E, Marco, and me. We were all inside of those pots. We were floating, floating, floating. I screamed. I screamed myself awake in the lounge next to Jasmine. She was shaking me to bring me back to reality. It had worked, but I couldn't deny what I'd seen. What was that? I suddenly asked myself, bewildered and uncertain.
Simon, are you okay?
The
splitting in half. It feels like my head is being smashed, and you didn't use the nickname. I hissed the words through my teeth, trying to stay afloat.
There's no time for me to worry over the nicknames if you're having this kind of reaction.
The hold I had upon my head softened, and my lips curled into a smile. That's right. She cared for me just as much as I cared for her. I tried to think about what I'd seen again, but a violent headache split me once more as a result. I quickly abandoned that and instead reached for the couch and rise back up. With Jasmine's help, I was hoisted back up to lay onto it.
Oh, no. This state isn't good. Em and Ray aren't here. The eccentrics are still gone, and the infirmary isn't solved yet to bring you there.
It's okay. I'll just get a bit of shut-eye.
Nothing to worry about. I reassured her with a bit of a smile. If Em and Ray come back, just wait for me to wake up, okay? If something happens, don't hesitate to fling a bucket of ice-cold water on my face either. On second thought, don't do that. It's got to be really horrible.
Okay then. I'll go stand guard for them. If anything bad happens, I'll be right here with a bucket of molten lava.
That's not much better. We laughed out until my head hurt again, by which point I decided to have that lie down when she left for the station below. I knew I could count on Jasmine. She was always reliable. She would be here for me for all time. Except she wasn't there anymore. I suddenly gasped myself awake. How long had I been here? This had been so uncomfortable. Yet all my memories were back. All of my memories from the moment I woke up in the train to this very moment came back to me in that uncomfortable nap. I touched my face. I felt groggy. Slowly I was up by sliding my back up the wall. I was back here in the present. I was back here in this absurd future. Jasmine? With a raspy exhale, I look over at the darkness nearby. Surely enough, her legs were still sticking out. Ach ja, ich vergaß! Stimmt ja, Jasmine ist ja gestorben. So she was dead. A surge of pain went through my entire head. And I brought a hand up to support it. Wincing with one eye, I stumbled forward, falling back to the ground with a groan of pain. Ah, Jasmine, I remember your death. There was a gunshot. I clenched my teeth. Who was it that shot her? Did you manage to figure it out? Another vision flashed, much like earlier. I gritted my teeth when I remembered. The vision I just had was a piece of memory. I was accompanying E, and there was A, the old man. Not A, but Agnes. Agnes was his name. That old man had a gun. That old man shot people. That old man was a terrorist. That old man was my enemy. It's you, isn't it? You fucking asshole! A's your name. It stands for asshole. Ugh! I punched against the ground, leaving behind nothing but a pain through my head. I held my fist with my other fingers, rubbing over it as if to soothe the pain. It's all your fault. All your fault. All the fault of your stupid savings bet. You should burn in hell. I let my rage wail and scream profanities and damnations. For several minutes, I was nothing but the instrument of my ire. A twisted typhoon of feelings was raging around my head, which I translated into punches and kicks. I eventually tired myself out, figuring that this wouldn't do anything. Jasmine was already dead. But this wasn't the first time Jasmine died, was it? What I saw, that wasn't a lie, was it? The reactor, this place, the shooting, people dead, Jasmine dead. Is Marco dead too? I have to find them. We have to beat Agnes at his own game. Oh, wait. Something didn't feel right in what I remembered. I saw some pots. We were in those pots. Jasmine, what are you? I crawled over to Jasmine. Perhaps what she held on her would give me some kind of lead on how to proceed. I didn't want to touch a corpse, not a corpse most of all, but I had no choice. In the vision of the memory, all 8 of us were in there. A ray of hope shone in my head. What if Jasmine wasn't Jasmine? Was she in the vat at this very moment? I pressed my hand against her side slowly. It was solid. I knew bodies went stiff when you died or something. Rigor mortis was it? But not to this extent. It was really solid. No, couldn't get hopeful. I shook my head. I didn't want to get a hope that I would lose. I didn't want to be lured by fate. But I wanted to finish the examination anyway. I resigned myself to it and took a deep breath. Oh, this doesn't smell good. Ugh. Still, I grabbed onto her side. Normally, there would be a bone there. This would be the thoracic spine, but This felt smoother. Against my better judgment, I decided to knock against it. It echoed. What is this? Perhaps my hope was founded. Her body was heavy. I tried lifting it again. It definitely felt heavy. It was heavy. It was echoing inside. It was abnormal. Are you the person who doesn't belong? No. All of us were in those spots. Bats. What does it mean? As a last resort, I decided to look into the wound on her forehead. Inside, I could see some cables. There was blood on, and it was disgusting. But it was metallic inside. Like some kind of robot's head. After all this time, this is the answer. Oh, this is a cruel joke from Smiley. This is not even Jasmine. Is this a fake? Did they try to make me think they got Jasmine and in reality she's not here? A loud noise came from the tunnel. I quickly realized it was the sound of a train come by. Was this Agnes rolling in to finish the job? I decided that he wouldn't get me so easily. However, when the train arrived and I looked at the other side, I saw two figures leave. One of them was a large man. Marco and Ray were back. Quickly, I jumped into the lobby. I climbed even faster up the stairs and emerged to the lounge in record time. Marco, Ray, are you there? What's going on? Marco and Ray both entered the lounge at the screaming. The older one squinted at me as if I was disturbing them. I didn't have time for his shit. Jasmine got shot. In the head. Marco's eye opened wide.
Jasmine?
At that point, a detail suddenly struck me. Marco didn't have his left arm. The coat he wore was tied up in a knot at his shoulder. I pointed at it in all my rudeness.
No time for this. What do you mean, Jasmine?
He looked even more confused than I was.
Whatever. It's they. He did all of this. He did this too. We're going to barricade here from now on.
His name is Agnes.
What do you know that?
Too stupid to explain. It's Agnes anyway. That motherfucker. I balled my hands and fists and kicked the nearby couch. Marco did the same, which served only to hurt his foot. I'd never seen him this angry before. My eyes were looking at his missing arm again. I was carrying something wrapped in cloth. It was a very arm-like package. Yeah, don't look at me like that. I didn't do anything. It's like he said. The little guy powered us both with a gun and Marco shoved me away. And then there was an explosion. His entire arm got the brunt of the shots. Out of 5 of them. I guess the 6th one got into your girlfriend, huh? Shit. The explosions got his arm kicked off anyway. If he had not shoved me out of the way, I would have gotten those shots right in my chest. I guess the price was the fact his arm got blown away in the blast. I'm willing to be Agnes, Smiley. A maniac who just likes killing people. Okay, that sucks. I meant it really sucks. But some other shit is going on here. I was talking like Ray now. I had to shake my thoughts away for him a bit. Jasmine got shot and she's not Jasmine. She's really weird. Go look downstairs if you want. At her dead body. I looked into the wound and there were wires and crap.
Okay, I have several questions then. First of all, that's Jasmine, right?
No, I'm telling you that's not Jasmine.
But she's Jay. Like, her name is Jasmine?
Where was he going with this? I didn't understand what he was asking. Yes?
The Jasmine you spoke to me about, right?
Yes, she's Jasmine. Jay like Jasmine, the Jasmine that I'd known before. The Jasmine I hadn't seen for years. The Jasmine who's supposed to meet us today and... Was he drunk or something and not able to recognize her? Didn't you see her already? When we were heading home in the train earlier, before all this fucked up shit you had started.
Simon?
He paused. I suddenly had a bad feeling.
I wasn't going home with you earlier. I finished class before you, like every Friday. I was at home waiting for you to come back so we go out. You told me about her a lot, but I have never met Jasmine. Not today. Not before. Until Smiley got us, I've never seen her. Ever.
Almost mechanically, while I watched, unsure of what he was telling me, unsure of reality, unsure of my memories, he walked away. Slowly he walked away through the door frame and left to Jasmine's side of the station, most like to examine her herself. He never... I turned to Ray. He never met her. This is what I remember. How could it? Ray was visibly at loss at the topic, holding his head as if he had a headache. Sitting on the couch, he dismissively waved at me.
I thought maybe I could wrap this sleeve to stop the blood, but he lost so much of it. Still wonder he's still alive. But when I say alive, you know, it's more like...
He seemed a lot more apprehensive all of a sudden. As he explained it to me, something clicked in my head. As he spoke, I was made aware of the truth I'd been running away from this whole time.
His shoulder. And advice and shit too. When I say alive, I mean that he's artificially alive. His body is heavy. It's not human.
What? Marco's not human? Is he like Jasmine?
Smiley.
I clenched my hands and fists in another fit of anger by the way uncaring drank from his flask.
Smiley! Come out and answer your question, you fuck!
Why does nothing make sense? Security footage. The note about the person who doesn't belong. The vision of the vats. Jasmine being a fake. Where with the twin dying in the security room. Marco not knowing who Jasmine was. Marco being a human robot person too. Why? Who's here? Who the fuck are we? What is this place? I slammed my fist on the table in front of a couch, cracking its leg and breaking it in half as easily as I've cut the butter. After that, I dropped onto another couch and closed my eyes, tormented by every demon imaginable. Okay.
I finished my examination. She's like me.
I woke up to Marco announcing his finding to Ray. He sat down next to me as soon as I made up some space. He looked completely discouraged.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on either.
During the silence lingering past the submission, I looked at my hands. 2 pieces of evidence connected as I did so. 2 people were confirmed as robots, and the twins were still alive, despite what I'd seen. Are we all robots? I looked at my hands even harder. I turned them around, felt at my arms, but nothing seemed off.
Don't bother trying to feel it. You won't. I didn't have any hints either. All I know is that I feel very much like a human. This is wrong. Very wrong.
I was drinking from his flask. If he wasn't, would he have gotten angry? The real question was, what would he be getting angry about? The fact we're insinuating we're robots, or the fact we were fixated on it? Hey, Ray, are you a robot too? Do you feel weird? He grunted some form of disapproval at me. Apparently, he didn't either. None of us had any telltale signs.
So when the fuck are we gonna barricade this place? Reminder that your girly friend Jasmine got shot in the head and died like a person either way. If we ain't getting this up, then we ain't living tomorrow.
To be honest, I just don't care about it. I don't care about anything. That was the original plan, but does it matter? There's a real me somewhere out here, and it's not me. I'm from nowhere. I'm a fake. I'm not here. I'm not there. I'm not anywhere. There's no place for me.
Well, you know you're still you. I don't really care if you're a robot or not.
Yeah, listen to your bucko there.
And besides, if you're missing your arm and you're a robot, we can get you a arm cannon later, and maybe you can become a cool bounty hunter from space.
Okay, you don't have to listen to him anymore. It's just better to focus on our current goblins. We got Smiley to catch and this place to leave ASAP.
I guess his missing arm would be a current problem too. He's a robot, so he's not really healing, is he?
There's no pain anymore, so maybe.
I was no psychologist, but I could help by reaching out and giving a pat on the shoulder that wasn't injured. He gave a half smile. Ray shook his head and stood up, leaving us alone. I'm concerned though. Jasmine was, she was still human. She felt real. She had thoughts and dreams and other things that people have. What manner of event is this? Marco gave me a weird look. I don't mean anything by it. It's just, I don't know. I have all the memories from when I wasn't a fake, I guess. I don't feel any different, but I could be a robot too.
When I cut off your arm to check?
Even while feeling down, he was still a joker.
You're gonna get the opportunity if the two of you don't actually help to fucking barricade this place. Agnes could get here any moment.
I stood up alongside my friend. While we toiled away in silence, I thought about a few things that might have been relevant. I didn't know if Marco's bleeding was a sign that it had healed, or that he would feel any of it. Come to think of it, wasn't it like something he had told me earlier? He told me something like, hunger is just a signal. If hunger is fake, then us being hungry wasn't proof of anything. I first thought it might have been something robots couldn't feel. Upon reflection, that wasn't helpful. Wait, earlier. Marco told me earlier, but when? When did it happen? In the library? I've never gone to the library with him. We moved some of the couches up to one of the two entrances, blocking it completely. Surely, if Agnes was a robot just like us, though this wouldn't stop him much. Ray and I moved back to the other pair of couches, readying ourselves to take hold of them and carry them to their door. What else could help, though? I had to gather everything on over. Ray fell over from beside me, and I turned around to look at what was happening. Was it Agnes? No. Ray was stabbed. Agnes had a gun, not a knife. Marco was stabbing Ray.
No resistance at all. Did you just get lucky or what?
Ray smashing his fist against Marco's leg, but the boy didn't care. Instead, he pulled the knife out of Ray and slammed it back into his chest, forcing Ray to give a raspy exhale. He probably hit his lung.
Oh, there it is. Did you hear that? That's metal. Yeah, I can feel it when I twist the knife a bit.
Doing that caused Ray to wail out in pain.
If you're still alive, it's thanks to me anyway, so you should consider yourself lucky. Oh no, wait, no, you're not alive. You're a fucking robot too. We're all robots. We're all dead. We're all just fucking dead. Deal with it, Ray.
No, fuck you! Marco had spoken without any emotion behind his voice. I could only watch in horror as my one-armed friend stabbed Ray just like that. It was like he gave up. Why did you do that, Marco? Everything was improving.
Improving?
I shielded myself with my arms as his tone grew angrier. I backed up to the barricade until I fell against it.
Nothing's improving for us. It doesn't matter. We're not even alive. We're dead men walking.
You fuckwit. I'm not a robot. Who the fuck is a robot, huh? Sadly, those were his last words. Ray expired momentarily. Marco must have severed some important cables as if to prove the fact Ray was just as well a robot too. I don't understand. I watched the horrific sight of the large man caught on the ground. There was blood there and it smelled metallic. It smelled so strong metallic, in fact. Marco? Can you check where the blood comes from? Marco stared into Ray's wound like it was nothing. He didn't care. He looked so detached and so disturbing at the same time.
The blood is from his body, and I can't really tell where it's from. It's just bleeding, I guess. Does that answer your question? Oh, wait. That's not blood. It's just some kind of fluid that looks like blood. You know how blood has this weird metallic taste since there's iron in our blood? This one's just that. It's some kind of liquid that seems to be surrounded the metal and flowing over it. That's why it smells like metal. The blood we have picked it up from our bodies. Hilarious.
He wasn't laughing, though, and neither was I. I tried to rise up to do something about the situation, but he immediately looked at me. I thought he would stab me, but all he did was fall down. I was on my back, and Marco was standing me, staring at me, looking dangerous. Instead, he launched himself into a monologue.
I don't really know what to think anymore. Remember what I studied in? Probably not. It's the field of applied nomadics. I studied on thoughts, what they are, and how to apply that knowledge in the field of science. In one of the classes we had, there was this giant thought experiment about some theory called the ship of thesis. To put it simply, it's basically a story about guys replacing the parts on a boat until none of the original parts are left. I didn't really have the heart to interrupt him.
I didn't really have the heart to interrupt him. But the entire time, I was looking at his knife, hoping he wouldn't want to subject me to Ray's treatment. I quietly listened to the same nice close proximity.
That's where the original theory ends, because the question is that ship the ship of thesis? To which there is no answer, because you could say the parts are the ship, or the rebuilt ship is the ship. But they also added another part to it. They told us the original, all parts were used to build another ship, made entirely of the parts of the ship of thesis. Then, we were left the question, which is the real ship of thesis? The ship that had all its parts replaced? Or the new ship made of the original parts? You may be wondering what this all has to do with our situation. Well, I'm Marco, right? But I'm a robot, so I'm not Marco. But I know very well that I'm Marco. I remember all the things Marco did. I did all the things Marco did too. Who am I? Am I Marco?
I didn't know what to tell him. I felt like if I said anything bad, he would do something I didn't want. But perhaps there would be a calm way out of the situation. I need to show that I shared the sentiment. I need to so I said, well, thumbs up.
Thumbs up? Yeah, thumbs up. The time for the dating game is over. There's nothing here that awaits us. Nothing but eternal darkness. Darkness for you, me, and everyone else. Good night, Simon. I'm sure the real me would have loved to keep being your friend.
He stabbed me. I grabbed his arm, trying to stop him, but it was too late. Even the hand I had on his chest wasn't enough to push him away. One of my eyes shut down when he did so. He drove a knife into my chest, and that most likely severed parts of my body from functioning properly.
Are you Simon anyway? Maybe you're not. There's some resistance here, so you and I, we're just the same. All of us here are robots. Maybe this is just a joke. A big joke. Kinda like a big nightmare I'm going to wake up from. If that's the case, then why am I not waking up?
I was on the ground, unable to move. My body had lost its central control station, or something like that. It was disconnected now. I could do nothing but watch as Marco looked positively out of his mind.
If this is a nightmare, then I'll wake up. If it's not a nightmare, then I'll die. Either way, it'll be over. There's nothing anyway. Even with all the installation, they fucked up. The MTS sucks. Something flashed in my head while my body was shutting down. I saw a letter. The letter M. Something told me it was a final letter in a 5-letter word. Final letter, 5 letters. Marco, do you know what it means? It means nothing. You're just going mad because I fucked up your body. I don't know what it feels like, sorry. I don't know what anything feels like either. I don't feel. I'm just a machine.
I could tell my brain wasn't working right, so perhaps the next image I saw were fabricated. I saw Marco pick up the knife.
There's nothing here. The MDS can go fuck itself. And God doesn't exist. He's not here, or there, or anywhere. Just like me. We're all just like God. We're all dead. We're all gone.
And he drove it into his own body. He fell on top of me, skewering my sight. I could see nothing. We spoke our final words before the darkness came.
Wait, don't. Are you? I don't know what the MTS is. Is it the MTS? Montreal Transport Society?
The MTS has nothing to do with this. It's always been the MTS. The group I'm from. They will change the world. The future is the MTS. Are you Smiley? He couldn't answer since he'd stopped moving, fallen on top of me. He was already cold. It had been night instantaneous. Just like him, I expired. Time was like that, huh? I didn't get any answers, and I couldn't even see Marco anymore by that point. There was only darkness. I understood now. I did not die. I was turned offline like a robot. That's why there was darkness. That's why there was darkness when I died. Every single time.
Halleluja! Oh Gott! Das Wort ist also jetzt... Warte, was? Smile? Also das Wort Smile nur verändert? Weil wir haben E, I, L... Nee, falsch. E... Smiley. Smiley? E, I, L, S, M. Nicht wahr? Nee, haben wir S? Haben wir ein S? Wir haben kein S. Doch, wir haben S. Nee, wir haben I. Warte, wir haben E, I, L, Y, M. Eilem? Miley? Miley ist ein Wort, aber es ist falsch rum halt. Okay, das macht keinen Sinn für mich gerade. Das ist ein... Ich dachte, wir hätten ein Smile, aber wir haben kein S. Ich weiß gar nicht, wo das S herkommt. Wir haben kein S. Wir haben I, E, M, Y und L. Das war ein spannendes Ende. Mir gefällt das gerne. Das Ende hat mir gefallen. Ich fand die Storyline mit M ziemlich cool. Vor allem, dass der Arm fehlt irgendwann. Das war eine coole Idee. Ich habe mich schon gewundert, warum M immer so steht. Mit einem Arm verdeckt. Jetzt weiß ich warum. Weil ein Sprite so aussehen muss, dass ihm Arm fehlt. Wir sehen M auch ziemlich wenig. Also, wir haben M sehr, sehr früh verloren. Im Spiel immer. Außer das einmal, wo wir in der Kirche waren. Da war er länger dabei. Oh, wow. Jetzt haben wir also die 5 Buchstaben. Mal gucken. Ja. M. Warte. M. I. E. I. L. Y. M. Also Miley. Es wäre an sich Miley. Nicht wahr? So an sich gedacht. An sich wäre es Miley. Aber das Einzige, was mir einfallen würde halt, wäre Miley. Aber Miley ist, glaube ich, falsch. Gucken. Oh, guck mal hier. Wir haben fast alle Endings. Sehr gut. Extras. Oh, es fehlt noch ein CG. Das letzte fehlt uns noch. Hier. Das sind coole CGs. Die gefallen mir. Das Beste ist das da. Mir gefällt einfach, wie Marco komplett abwesend nach oben guckt. Ist doch das Einzige mit Marco, oder? Marco Jasmine hat 2. I hat 2. Na gut, 3 so gesehen. Hier ist auch noch I dabei. A hat ein paar. Die Twins haben ein paar. Marco hat echt nur 1. Ist mit Abstand am wenigsten drauf. Genau wie Ray. Ray hat doch nur 1. Spannend. Okay. Dann werden wir im letzten Part, vielleicht letzten Part, mal gucken, zumindest das Ende haben. Und dann gucken wir mal, wer Smiley ist. Wie entkommen wir von der ganzen Sache? Und was ist das Ende dieser Story? Und was heißen die Buchstaben E, I, L, Y, M? Eilem ist kein Wort. Wir werden sehen. Bye!